Investigators blamed inadequate training for the December 2017 Amtrak crash. Instead of the posted 30 miles an hour, the train was going 78 through a curve in DuPont before derailing onto I-5. 3 of them sued, including Blaine Wilmot, seen here with his wife, who broke his neck, arm, and leg when one of the cars landed on top of his silver Ford pickup below on I-5. Passengers Dale Skillingstad and Aaron Harris, once an All-American lacrosse player, both broke their backs and suffered brain injuries.
They've had brain bleeds, they have brain problems. That's the traumatic brain injury things. You're going to hear all about that in this trial.
Attorney David Benninger is representing the first 3 plaintiffs in what will be a series of trials against Amtrak. He says Amtrak failed to change safety and training policies after crashes that happened long before the one in DuPont.
This will help bring that story home so we understand this isn't just an accident that can be forgotten and hope it's all going to be better, but it was an accident waiting to happen by institutional problems.
The first witnesses to take the stand this afternoon were other passengers who got emotional describing the actual crash. A spokesperson for Amtrak declined to comment on this trial, but the attorney told the jurors that those 3 men deserve to be compensated, but he asked the jurors to be fair, noting that all 3 of those men have returned to work and continue to improve. In Tacoma, Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.